there, everybody. I'm back. It's Friday. I'm nervous, if I have to admit. I'm going to do my first half marathon run since my Achilles surgery that I've actually been able to legitimately run train for. So it'll be exciting this weekend. So definitely, hopefully I get faster than what I'm going to be this weekend, but hopefully this is a good jumping off start. And what it did was it made me think about some of the things that's going through my head. So when I'm thinking about, how I'm going to approach this half marathon, that's what everybody deals with, right? As they get into the beginning of the season, they try to figure out, one, can I get faster? Two, how do I use this newfound speed? Because that's one of the things that I talk to my athletes about all the time is, well, first we have to make you stronger or faster. Then you have to learn how to use that new strength or speed and adjust to those different feelings and different sensations. So I thought I would share some of the tips that I do, and hopefully you can use them. If you know more than me, then that's great too. I don't know, a lot of people do. But so here's a couple of things that I do. First, if you're wondering about setting a PR, or here, let's go back. If you're thinking that you want to do an off-season run training program to get faster, my recommendation to my athletes is always to do a half marathon and not a marathon. The reason is, people who think, and if you're going to do your first Ironman this year, keep this in mind, marathoning is totally different than Ironman running, and most people that have done Ironman and marathons will echo what I'm trying to say. I would almost say that marathoning is harder. It's definitely probably almost harder on the body, as crazy as that is, and I'll get into that maybe on a different one. But the half marathon, you can train almost as much as you do for a marathon, but you don't have quite the recovery time, and you can also work on speed and also fit in other things in your life too that you might also want to be working on. Next is, if you're trying to set a PR, or if you're just curious how fast you can go, a good rule of thumb is you can usually do whatever you can do for your best effort in training for half the distance. So if you can do 6.5 miles at your new pace that you'd like to try out, that indicates that you at least have a realistic possibility to try it in a race for double the distance, especially for a half marathon. So if you're unsure, give it a try. Start going out and seeing if you can get into the 6 to even 8-ish miles. If you can do that in training, then you probably have a good shot to apply that to your half marathon. Remember, nothing magical is going to happen on race day. So I would also say the key to especially half marathon running is going out close to pace, but not a lot under pace. And if you do that, think about this. Half marathon pace should feel easy for the first half. Think about it. It's something you're going to do, most of us, for around an hour and a half. So if it doesn't feel easy for the first 5 minutes, then there's a problem. You're probably going out too fast. So keep that in mind. Just because it feels easy at the beginning doesn't mean that you're in for a super magical day where you can suddenly drop a ton of time. I like to think about things that are feeling based. My wife always knows that I'm a very feeling oriented person. No, I'm kidding. But think about feeling like a quick light runner. There she is right there, Charlie. Feeling like a quick light runner, having nice smooth steps, relaxed shoulders, relaxed breathing. Try not to get too mechanical in your thought processes, even if those are the things that you've used. Like before, we've talked about cadence. Wait until later, until you start getting tired, to start to dial in on the actual mechanics of going fast when you're trying to hold on. But at the beginning, you can really kind of screw up your body's natural ability to do its thing most efficiently by trying to overthink it at the beginning. So that's definitely something that I would recommend. Monitor your breathing. One of the issues I used to have was my heart rate in training used to be different than my heart rate in racing. And if you're not racing a lot right now, you don't know exactly what your heart rate's going to be in racing. It can be elevated, sometimes up to 10 beats when you're rested or when you're excited, but your breathing won't lead you astray. So start paying attention to breathing patterns when you're doing your efforts, now, and try to establish and get right into those breathing patterns for your races, and that will be a good indication. I've been starting to use the power meter from Stride. I really like it. I have been reluctant to set zones with it. However, I have been paying attention to the power at any given effort that I'm trying to maintain. And so how I plan on using that is when I go to a bridge or when I go to a hill, or if you're running off road, to trust that if I'm holding the power that I've trained to run for that specific pace, then that is the pace, even though it might not show up as the actual velocity. That's the output that I need to maintain, and I can get immediate feedback from that. So that's been the best way that I've learned to use it starting out right now. So The other thing is, and I'm kind of skipping a little bit, don't overdress. So you should start the race somewhat cold. I went to actually Lululemon today and tried out some new shorts and I'm really excited about them. If you want my advice, I got the 7-inch ones. They're really great. And I got a really cool shirt that will, with the, but you don't want to overdress. If you start out the race warm or comfortable, you're going to be too hot halfway through and you're going to be tying them on or trying to get rid of them. So don't do that. Let's see. If you're not doing races right now and you're still looking to get fast, this is the time where you want to really start working on your FTP and your 30 to 60 minute efforts. If you're doing long course, if you're doing short course, I'm trying to hold my short course athletes back right now. You could be doing some other stuff, but you really need to be working on base if you're going to be peaking with 30-minute type efforts this summer. Don't get into those too early now. I know spin classes and all that stuff are designed to do that, but it's to hold your interest, not necessarily to peak performance for you in the summer. So you can still go to spin classes and enjoy the company and do those things. Just I would recommend setting the intensities down a little bit if you're doing short course. If you're doing long course, now's the time to really try to push that FTP up, your 30 to 60 minute efforts. In fact, we posted, I know some people have been requesting a long time, I posted in our training plans the goal mile. So if you just want to do the goal mile, this is a perfect time to start doing that. It's 12 or 13 weeks of a couple workouts. And then some people have already started racing. So I've got some secret bricks that I've done for the last decade that has helped me get to Hawaii and other Ironman championships. I posted a series of secret bricks in the Superfly coaching training plans page as well too. So last thing is I'm really excited. Our uniform store, that's the other thing that we've been getting asked a lot, is that's going to be up next week, hopefully. So we did change the uniforms. They're pretty awesome. We went with Castelli this year. The stitch pattern is better. But we had to change the pattern. The side panel stuff wasn't matching up. So I'm really, really excited for you girls and guys to see the new uniforms. So we'll have them up next week. It's only going to be open for a couple weeks. And that's it. I think I've got everything. I'm looking at my notes. Got anything to add, Tanya?
The women's kits are the same as last year because they were awesome.
Okay. All right, everybody. Everybody racing the Sarasota Half Marathon this week, and good luck. Everybody who did Dubai, awesome job. We'll see everybody out at camp. Our camp sold out for February 16th in Claremont, so that's super exciting. We have another camp coming up, and again, this is free for our athletes, so you just have to register. It's in Madison over Memorial Day weekend. And we'll talk to you guys next Friday. Bye.